Here is part 1, 500 words, of the video script based on your outline for The Night That Saved Us, a painful lesson in love and marriage. Part 1. The distance between us. Word count, 500. Faceless video style. Use narration, ambient background sounds, clock ticking, rain, soft music, and subtle visual cues, e.g., empty dinner table, 2 coffee mugs untouched, phone screen lighting up in the dark. Studio microphone, voiceover script, part 1. They say love fades slowly, not in flames, but in silence. Not with a scream, but with a sigh. 8 years ago, Adam and Liana promised forever. They stood under the soft glow of string lights in a backyard wedding, laughing, dancing, whispering dreams of the future into each other's ears. But time has a way of blurring those dreams. Now, the house they bought together feels colder. Not because of the temperature, but because of the silence. Liana works the night shift at the hospital. 12-hour days turn into 12-hour nights. She comes home exhausted, sometimes too tired to even take off her shoes. Adam hears the front door creak open at 6 a.m., pretends to be asleep, and waits for her footsteps to pass. They don't speak in the mornings. They don't speak much at all. She leaves reheated dinners in the microwave. He eats them in silence. She falls asleep on the couch. He doesn't cover her with a blanket anymore. There are no fights. No screaming. No slammed doors. Just the sound of 2 people drifting. I think I stopped feeling loved before I ever stopped loving her. Adam admitted this once, but only to himself. He works from home, designing buildings that will never feel like home to him. He stares out the window more than he stares at a screen. Then one day, at a firm's networking event, he runs into Rachel, a woman he knew in college. She's confident. Funny. She remembers his birthday. And when she laughs at his jokes, something in him stirs, something he forgot existed. She asks how he's been. He lies. I'm good. Married. Stable. But Rachel isn't fooled. She sees through the smile. She sees the loneliness. Back home, Liana doesn't notice the change, not because she doesn't care, but because she's drowning too. Her job is chaos, pain, and long corridors filled with dying people and blinking machines. When she comes home, she has nothing left to give. One night, Adam watches her sleep on the couch in her scrubs, her shoes still on. He stares at her, wondering when they stopped touching each other, when they stopped seeing each other. Is this how marriages die, he thinks? Not in fire, but in the quiet? And while he never meant to cross a line, he already has. Not with his body, not yet, but with his heart. The distance between them isn't measured in miles. It's measured in the space between 2 people who once promised to never grow apart, but did. End of part 1, 500 words. Would you like me to continue with part 2? Here is part 2, 500 words, of the video script for The Night That Saved Us, a painful lesson in love and marriage. Part 2. A line crossed. Word count, 500. Faceless video style. Narration driven with ambient sound effects, rainfall, quiet bar ambience, distant music, heartbeat. Visual suggestions. Umbrella in the rain. A glass of wine left untouched. A dimly lit living room at night. Studio microphone, voiceover script, part 2. Some lines aren't drawn in bold ink. They're drawn in whispers, glances, and moments that feel harmless, until they're not. It started with a drink. Just one. After a late client presentation, Rachel invited Adam to a quiet bar downtown, just to catch up. He told himself it was innocent. He told himself Liana wouldn't mind. He told himself a lot of things. Outside, it was raining. The kind of rain that makes the world feel smaller, quieter. Inside, they sat close. The kind of close where knees brush beneath the table. Where you lean in, not just to hear but to feel. Rachel spoke about her divorce. How her husband forgot birthdays. How it felt to be someone's second priority for so long, she forgot what it meant to be first. Adam listened and it stung. Because he recognized himself, not in Rachel, but in her ex-husband. I used to think love was enough, Rachel said, sipping wine. But love without attention? That's just loneliness in a pretty frame. He didn't mean to reach for her hand. But when she didn't pull away, he didn't let go either. She sees me, he thought. When was the last time Liana even looked at me like this? They talked for hours. Time blurred. The bar emptied. The kiss came fast, but the decision was slow. He knew he should go home.
He knew what was right.
But when Rachel touched his face and whispered, "You deserve to be wanted," something inside him broke. They left together. No visuals needed. Just the sound of rain. A door closing. The distant ticking of a clock. A heartbeat growing louder. Then silence. It didn't feel like passion, he would later say. It felt like escape. He woke up before sunrise. Her apartment was still, quiet. Rachel slept peacefully, unaware that the man beside her had just ruined everything. Adam dressed slowly. Every movement heavy. He didn't leave a note. Back home, Liana stirred in bed alone. She reached for her phone out of habit, a nurse's instinct. One missed call. Rachel, work. 1:13 a.m. She stared at the screen for a long time. No tears. No anger. Just a hollow numbness. She got up, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table. 2 mugs. Only one filled. The front door opened. Adam stepped in, soaked from the rain. She looked at him, not with rage, but with the kind of quiet that screams. "Is there something you need to tell me?" she asked, voice steady. And just like that, the night that started with a drink became the night that would change everything. End of part 2, 500 words. Would you like me to continue with part 3? The night that saved us? Here is part 3, 500 words, of the video script for The Night That Saved Us, a painful lesson in love and marriage. Part 3. The Night That Saved Us. Word count, 500. Faceless video style. Quiet emotional tone. Use ambient sounds, clock ticking, light rain, kettle whistling. Visual suggestions, a kitchen table, 2 mugs of coffee, flashback sequences in soft focus, wedding, laughter, shared looks, dim morning light through windows. Studio microphone, voiceover script, part 3. Not every storm ends in destruction. Some leave behind enough pieces to start over. Adam stood in the doorway, soaked in rain and shame. Liana sat at the kitchen table, calm, still. 2 mugs sat between them. Only one filled. "Is there something you need to tell me?" she asked again, softly. No trembling. No fire. Just truth waiting.
He sat down.
He didn't touch the coffee. His hands were shaking. And then he told her everything. No excuses. No blame. Just raw, trembling honesty. He told her how lonely he'd been. How Rachel made him feel seen if only for a moment. How it wasn't love or lust, but a desperate grasp for something he couldn't even name. "I broke something," he said, voice cracking. "And I don't expect you to forgive me." Liana listened in silence. She didn't interrupt. She didn't cry. She just stared at the man she married, the man who made her laugh on rainy days, who danced with her in grocery aisles, who once promised never to hurt her. And now here he was, broken, ashamed, and begging without words. "Do you still love me?" she finally asked. He nodded, tears spilling now.
"Yes.
But I forgot how to show it. And I forgot how to see you, too." Then, for the first time in a long time, Liana spoke from her heart. "I stopped needing flowers. I stopped needing surprises. All I wanted was your attention, and I couldn't compete with your silence." There was no yelling, no slamming doors, only the sound of 2 people standing at the edge of everything and choosing, somehow, not to jump. "This marriage is broken," she said. But maybe not beyond repair. She didn't promise to forgive him.
She didn't promise to stay.
But she did promise one thing. "If you're willing to fight for us, then so am I." They sat together in the early morning light. No touching. No pretending. Just presence. Flashbacks played in Adam's mind. Their wedding day. Liana falling asleep on his shoulder during a movie. Dancing barefoot in the kitchen at midnight. He realized then, love doesn't die in a moment. It dies in the days you stop noticing. and lives in the moments you choose to begin again. We can't erase last night, Liana whispered. But maybe, just maybe, it can be the night that saved us. And in that quiet space between ruin and repair, hope returned. End of part 3, 500 words. Would you like me to continue with part 4, a painful lesson in love and marriage? Here is part 4, 500 words, of the video script for The Night That Saved Us, a painful lesson in love and marriage. Part 4. A painful lesson in love and marriage. Word count, 500. Faceless video style, narration-driven. Subtle visuals, therapy sessions, blurred figures, quiet evenings at home, hands brushing slightly, old photos on a table. Soft piano or ambient music in the background. Studio microphone, voiceover script, part 4. Healing doesn't come in one moment. It comes in pieces, slowly, painfully, and sometimes beautifully. 6 months have passed since that night. Adam and Liana didn't sweep it under the rug. They didn't pretend it didn't happen. They made a choice to face it. Together. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m., they sit on a couch that isn't theirs, across from a therapist who asks the hard questions. There are awkward silences.
Tears.
Laughter, sometimes, the surprised kind, like remembering who they used to be. It's not easy. Some days, Liana can barely look at him. Some nights, Adam wakes up from dreams where she's gone. But they're still here. Still trying. Adam keeps a journal now. He writes things he never said out loud, things like, I betrayed her because I felt invisible. But maybe she felt invisible first. Loyalty isn't just about staying. It's about choosing someone again every day. He's deleted Rachel's number, blocked her, unfollowed everything. Not because Liana asked, but because it was the right thing to do. He's learning to sit in discomfort, to listen, to speak with honesty instead of defense. Liana, too, has changed. Not softer, stronger. She's setting boundaries, saying what hurts when it hurts. And slowly, she's opening her heart again. Forgiveness, she says, isn't about erasing the pain. It's about giving love a second chance, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. They've started having coffee together again. Not every morning, but some. They don't always talk. Sometimes, just the silence between them feels different now. Less like distance, more like peace. At night, they share a bed again. No more backs turned. Sometimes, they fall asleep holding hands. Sometimes, they don't touch at all. But they always say goodnight. They don't call their marriage perfect. It's real, and real things are messy. They've learned that love isn't something you fall into. It's something you build. And rebuild, even after it's been broken. I still hurt, Liana admitted once. But pain isn't the end of love. It's the test of it. This is their lesson. A painful one. But lessons born from pain are the ones we never forget. Infidelity isn't just about betrayal, the narrator concludes. It's about what happens next. The choices we make when the easy way is to walk away. Adam and Liana didn't walk away. They walked through. Together. And one quiet morning, as the sun spilled through the curtains and the coffee steamed between them, Adam looked at Liana, really looked at her, and whispered, Thank you for not giving up. She smiled. Just a little. Thank you for showing up. And in that moment, they weren't the couple from 6 months ago. They were something new, something bruised, but blooming. Because sometimes, the night that nearly ended everything becomes the night that saves it all. End of part 4, 500 words, story complete, white heavy checkmark. Would you like a complete compilation, all 4 parts in one file, or help with visual editing cues for a faceless video format next?